Hello and welcome to this mid-morning taste challenge. We have two silver, 40% alcohol silver rums, both bottled in the United States. The first one is Bocador. Bocador Silver Label, introduced in 1971. Bottled in Philadelphia by Worldwide Distillers Company Limited. Yeah, there's some medals that it never won. This liter bottle was $8.99 at Don's Country Store in Reserve, Louisiana. I went there a couple of years ago. They didn't have any more of it. They had a 151 proof also, but I wouldn't dare buy that. All right, so original superior. Oh, superior rum. Ron Superior. That's Spanish rum. Superior rum. 1 liter bottle. The original Bocador rum, famous for its character. Made by master distillers where the tropic winds blow. Bottled in Philadelphia. Definitely where the tropical winds do not blow. So if you look on the Jochan's website, because that's who owns this, Jochan SC, they make Pennsylvania Dutch. They make a lot of Jochan's label products, Jochan's Silver Rum, Jochan's Gold Rum, but they don't list this. That's nothing unusual. A lot of companies make products that they don't list. And maybe wish you wouldn't know about. Okay, they're talking about how famous it is. This is famous? Really? I've seen it in one store in my life, which is where I bought it. Now, this one doesn't claim to be famous because it definitely is not. It's called Boquerón. Silver rum from somewhere in the Caribbean. Bottled in Texas by Iron Wolf, the owners. There it is, clearing up. Boquerón Caribbean Silver Rum. Yeah. B for Boquerón. It's got this rope tied around it, hemp, and tucked underneath, and it's got a wooden cap. And this was $6.99 for the bottle, or $7.99, because it was either or. I bought the gold for $7.99 and the six for $6.99, or vice versa. But I can tell you for sure, I bought the silver and the gold, and it added up to $14.98. All right. This will count for Friday. Got too much to do Friday. I mean, yes, I could do it, but no, I don't want to do it Friday because I would rather be spending time looking at these baseball highlights because they got some games I want to cut. Well, you know what? I could fit it in. Oh well, it's too late to worry about it. It's going now. All right. Because I forgot Thursday they don't have too many games scheduled, but oh well, we'll work it out. Like the Beatles, we can work it out. Oh yeah, they didn't work it out. Okay, but anyway, bad example. Neoprene rubber cap, wooden inside, rubber stopper inside a wooden cap. Are these two rums cheap silver rums? Well, yeah, $7.99 and $8.99 doesn't scream expensive. Was I looking for these rums? No, actually, no. I just stumbled across them and I said, well, hey, I'm buying them. Bocador in your mouth. All right. No, it's not quite enough. I got to have enough to taste it. You don't want to overdo it, though. All right, that should be enough. Still not enough. I'm trying to be so stingy. It's a white label with gold and pink. Actually, the trim is pink. Kind of weird, huh? Pink writing on white background. Okay, that's it. That is it. I don't care if it's even or not. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to read gold on white. And that's what it got. Gold print on white. Original Superior Bocador rum white label. All right. These medals show all kind of, there's an island scene, there's some kind of plant, there's a shield, 5 stars, and some kind of like crest from the Dominican Republic or one of those Mesoamerican countries. But they probably just put them on there. Now, before I even taste them, I can tell you right up ahead of time, you're not going to go wrong with either one. Now, the Bocador is going to probably be kind of dry. Like it might be really dry because those things like Bocador, even though you buy them at a grocery store, which is literally where I bought it, Don's Country Store, which has a lot of craft beer. Well, a pretty good amount of craft beer and such for a small town. Small town is in Reserve, Louisiana. It's not like they can't stock too much craft beer because most of the people living there used to buy Bud Light. That was their luxury beer. Probably buying Miller Lite now. Coors Light. All right, but they will stock some odd things sometimes. You just don't know what you're going to see. Maybe, but like I say, I don't see it anymore. Could have been in there for years, and they just finally cut it because the sales went low. But these are usually sold to bar rooms, bar and grill, or restaurants as a well drink. What is that? That's when you say, give me a rum and Coke. Okay. It's going to be $8, but they use this rum and some Coke. And it's probably not even real Coke. It's probably like a Food Club Coke or Great Value Coke, Coca-Cola. Great deal, huh? Pay $8 for that cocktail, and you could have bought a whole bottle of Bocador for $8.99. But yeah, it's a great deal. I had a good time. Okay, we had some hot wings. All right. It smells sugary sweet like sugarcane juice and grass stalks. And that's making me think it is the Boquerón Silver. This smells much mustier, like old factory buildings, which makes sense because it's bottled in a very old factory building from 1884, I think. Jacques Hands. Yeah, smells all right. It just smells like an old building. Okay, the original Bocador rum, famous for its character. There should be a comma there. The original Bocador rum, comma, famous for its character. Because see, good grammar is important because you could read it like the original Bocador rum famous. See what I'm saying? The original Bocador rum famous, but that's not correct. So that's why you have the comma. The original Bocador rum, comma, or pause, famous for its character. They're experts at making liquor, not writing sentences, I guess. Okay. The worst mistake is saying it's famous. Leaving the comma out is bad enough, but saying that it's famous is a big error because we know it's not famous because most people that watch this channel or most people in the world never heard of Bocador rum. But I'm sure there's some people that know about it now. You might say, well, hey, wait a minute. I live in South Philly. Every bar's got Bocador. Right, South Philly, where it's bottled. It's like around here. Taca's famous here in Louisiana. Southeastern Louisiana, Taca vodka is famous. Billboards everywhere, every major highway. Well, yeah, because the headquarters is in New Orleans. And so every place got Taca. Now, that's famous here. That doesn't mean anybody else. If you go to Iowa or Nevada or Alaska or Florida, doesn't mean you're going to see Taca. Although I do think I did see Taca in Alaska when I was shopping those liquor stores, if I'm not mistaken. But I wasn't looking for vodka, but I think I saw Taca. I saw a lot of stuff. That's for sure. Well, I wasn't too thrilled with the price in Juneau, but they got to ship everything in by boat or plane. There's no railroad tracks to go to Juneau, and there's no roads. There's no highways. So you got to take it either by walking through the woods and carrying it, which no one's going to do, or taking it on a boat or a plane. That's it. Shipping or air travel. So of course the price is going to be a little higher, but I didn't find that the prices there were as bad as I thought they were going to be. I mean, I thought they were going to be really bad. No, they were just bad, not really bad. Yeah, okay. So my initial assessment is that's the Boquerón and that's the Bocador. Bow or a bow. Okay. But I'm not 100% sure, so here we go. It's got to be the Boquerón because it's so sweet. It seems like every time I taste it, it's sweeter than the previous time. Does the sugar build in it as it sets in the bottle? Oh, it's sweet. Whoa. Now you say, oh, I got a sweet tooth. I want rum that's sweet, like sugar. This might be one for you. Actually, it will be one for you because it's going to have that sugary. It's almost like the frosting on a cake. I'm not joking, really. Okay. Ooh, that's liquid dessert. Okay, but let's go over here. I have a feeling this is going to be dry, 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 dry. Is it? This one is so dry. No sweetness. Hey, but that's what I'm learning about these barroom rums. They're super dry because they don't want them to interfere with the flavor of the cocktails. They just want a rum base. And they don't want to pay a lot for them. And that makes perfect sense. So the sweet and sugary may not really be that good for cocktails, but I don't know. I don't think it would be, right? When you want something drier, like not sweet. I'm asking a question because I really don't know the answer. Because I don't know anything about cocktails. There's a show that comes on the radio in New Orleans called Tales of the Cocktail, and they put it in the newspaper, and they got it might even be on television now. Tales of the Cocktail. Each week they have like a story about, this week we're going to talk about the Sazerac. Next week, join us again when we talk about the old fashioned. And then Marie will present a special segment on brandy old fashioned. See, but I don't ever watch the show. So people that are really into cocktail culture would roll their eyes at me and be like, duh, what do you think they're going to use? Dry rum and so forth. And I'd be like, I don't even think. I don't know. I would say I was just making a guess that seemed plausible, but I don't know the answer. Like, so I've been studying bourbon for years now. And if somebody tells me something that they don't understand bourbon, I don't sit there and start making fun of them like, don't you know about bourbon? I don't do that because it's not right. If they don't know, they don't know. That's not how you educate people, by ridiculing them. You say, well, bourbon, and then you could go on and try to help them. Don't be content to be a jerk. Try to help the people. I like to learn, but I don't like people making fun of me because I don't know something. But I don't know because I haven't learned it yet. Okay. So I don't take that approach ever. All right. Now I'm not going to go along with people that are wrong. Like I'm not like polite to the point where it's like, oh yeah, that's true. An ale and a lager is the same thing. I wouldn't say that. I would say, well, actually, an ale and a lager, they're both beer, but there's a difference. This is what I know about it. See, it's oftentimes how you frame things. And if you frame things bad, it's going to usually be presented in a bad way. And we're not talking about lying or telling the truth. You should always tell the truth. You should never lie. And because you can't justify it. All right. Is there a sugar part of this? Yes, there is a sugar part of it. It's made from sugar, so or sugar molasses. So there is a sugar aspect, but it's so low. So the main point of this is dry, more or less tasteless, smooth, easy drinking, simple. Okay, by design, I'm sure it's designed that way because they want it, like I just said earlier, probably for cocktail use. So, is it a real good sipping rum? I don't think too many people sip rum as a rule. I mean, I know they're out there, but I'm one of them. Well, for videos at least. But I think it's almost 100% a cocktail rum, and it's probably right up there with the name brands. You know, the big brands, the big boys. No, it's not up there with Bacardi Superior, but it's not like real far behind. But you're going to save a real good amount of money if you buy it instead of Bacardi. So guess what? I would buy it instead of Bacardi, but then I can't get it. So the point is moot. Like Jesse Jackson said in 1980, 84. The point is moot. Okay. If I was going to sip on a rum, and in reality, I never do that because I save everything for taste challenges. I never, literally, true story, never sip on any liquor of any sort for any reason except for taste challenges and doing a review. Now, and thirdly, if I'm at an event and somebody says, "Oh, hey, there's this new bourbon," and I'm like, "Well, that's every day. You want to try it? Okay, I'll try it." In that sense, okay, but that's so rare. How many times does that happen in a year? Once, maybe twice. So I'll do it. I'm gonna sip it, and they'll ask me. Of course, they wanted me to try it because they want to know what I think. What do you think? Usually, it's always good. Like, you ever find bad bourbon? I never found that. So, but you could kind of tell how the person, they might be aggravated if you say it's good but not great. You know what I mean? You want to be careful because they might have paid a whole lot of money for it. And I'd be like, "Yeah, it has a real strong corn flavor." And that's a good answer to give because that would be the truth. Bourbon would always have a good strong corn flavor because bourbon is mostly corn. So they're not going to take that as offense because most bourbon, every bourbon I've ever tried is good. At least maybe B mine is good, but good. And say, and I tell them it has a good corn flavor. Yeah, corn flavor. It's bourbon. So they might say, "Yeah, I noticed that too." That's good. Now I got into it once. Somebody one time wasn't hostile, but he says, "Man, did you try this rye whiskey?" I said, "I haven't tried it, but I would. I mean, I would try it, but I'm probably not going to try it for $75. But I would be open to it." I told Steven that, and he said, "Yeah, I love this kind of bourbon." I say, "Whoop, time out." Whoop, time out. I said, "Rye whiskey's not a type of bourbon," and he was like, saying, "It is. Rye whiskey is a type of bourbon." I said, "No, bourbon is made from corn, predominantly corn. It can't be. It could have rye in it. Most bourbons do have rye addition to help with spiciness and so forth, help it have more spiciness. So, but it couldn't be a bourbon because bourbon has to be mostly corn. And by definition, rye whiskey has to be mostly rye. The predominant grain has to be rye. That could be just a bare 51%, or it could be 100%, doesn't matter." And he was saying, "You're wrong, you're wrong." I said, "I'm not wrong." And I pulled out $20, said, "This says I'm right." I was just kidding, really, because I knew he wasn't going to bet. I would have taken it, though. I never bet unless I know I'm right. You understand? I don't take chances. So if I take a bet with you, that means I know the answer already. So you basically, either you're going to give me the money or you're going to welch because you lost. Because that should be a clue to you not to do it, because I don't take the chance. So if I wasn't sure, I wouldn't bet. I would just say, "I think I'm sure. I'm pretty sure that's right." And if they said, "You want to bet?" I'd say, "Well, I ain't going to bet because I'm not 100% sure." I would tell them that. I only bet if I know I'm right. Something like that. So, Next time I saw him at work, he says, "Hey, you were right. I went and read up about that. It's not a bourbon." I said, "Yeah, I didn't want to, make a big deal out of it," which I didn't. He said, "I appreciate that information because I didn't want to be somewhere looking stupid saying that." I said, "Oh, well, I'm glad you researched it." So it worked out without any kind of animosity or anger. Man, don't you wish everybody on the internet was like that, or in real life that you could talk to them without them flying off the handle and being crazy? But some people aren't like that. But that's the way it goes, I guess. All right, Bocador. Got it. Yeah, got it. Now, the only time I got it wrong so far in this whole series, and I've done a lot now at this point, right? The only time I got it wrong was once, and that's because I started questioning myself. It was like, what, the third taste challenge? Maybe the fourth. I think it was the third. And I was saying, like, oh, well, maybe the Bocador is not that sugary. See, now I'm starting to backtrack, and I'm conflicting with myself, in a conflict with myself. So I changed the answer and I got it wrong. I said, see what happens when you do that? So now I know how to get it right every time because I just know that sugary sweet one is the Bocador. Now that could be a sign of inferiority. I don't know. What I know about rum is like laughable, but I know enough about it to get by. But you might say, "What's wrong with you?" Everyone knows that the best rums are dry. I mean, I don't know that because I don't even know what the best rums are. So if you said that to me, I wouldn't be insulted. I would be like saying, "Oh yeah, that's true." I thought the sugary sweet ones were better for me. And they might say you have an infantile approach to rum. And I would agree with that. I would say, yes, I do. But I'm like an infant in many ways. I like sugary things like sugar water. You know what I'm saying? So no, I wouldn't get angry about it. All right. So which one do I think tastes better? Well, personal preference. So we can't really include that. But personal preference, I think I'll go with the Boquerón because I like the sugary sweet stuff. Like, I know it sounds bad, like, or you want to drink a rum that tastes like cake icing or frosting, same thing, different terminology. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to go eat a Pop Tart now. But but if you prefer a dry rum, then get the Bocador because it's gonna be right for you, and the price is so delightfully low, and the availability is so undelightfully nearly non-existent. But you never would know what you'll run across in these obscure Louisiana stores. And I ran across this, and I'm glad I bought it. Now, the next time we come back, we'll do another challenge, and I think it's going to be. It is going to be. I think I can't remember. Is it Cruzan? The famous Cruzan, the world famous Cruzan. Let's go see. Oh no, it's not that. It's the infamous Ron Rio. One of the worst tasting liquors I've ever tried. Actually, it doesn't taste that bad. I shouldn't say it. It's one of the worst smelling things. The infamous Ron Rio coming up next. Well, I got to do it. Look how much I have left. What I'm going to do? Waste it. Oh man, $7.99 for this liter. I know. I paid $7 too much for it. It was $7.99. I paid $7 too much. Pretty picture though. It's a pretty label, like this clipper ship, the world of trade and commerce. Caribbean rum from our friends in Weston, Missouri. They bottle it there. They don't make it there. They make it in the Caribbean. McCormick. You probably heard of McCormick Distilling. They make a lot of stuff, like especially McCormick blended whiskey, which I see everywhere. Well, want to say it again. I see it many places, like Ricky's, Total Wine and More, not Walmart, but yeah. Oh wait, Walmart does have the McCormick vodka, right? Oh well, all right, then. All right, anyway. Why would you use bagasse in a rum? Bagasse. Why would you put bagasse in the actual rum? Now, what's the theory behind that? Oh well. All right. Thanks. See you next time. That if that's a challenge, no way that's going to be a challenge. There is no way on earth I would ever confuse Ron Rio with any other rum in the world. Now, if you could drink this and enjoy it, you don't have to prove your manhood to anyone else in the world ever in your life, because that means you're a man and you have bravery and reckless abandon.